My OA mother hired me as her cleaner without knowing I run a $1 million business. Because she never asked, but when she found out during the family reunion, her reaction left everyone breathless. The text message from my mother lit up my phone screen like a bomb waiting to detonate. Maya, I hear you're still struggling in LA. I have a cleaning job for you at an upcoming family reunion. Good pay. Let me know. I stared at those words, a bitter laugh escaping my throat. My name is Maya, and I'm the owner of Hollywood's most exclusive concierge service. Not that my family knows that. To them, I'm still the black sheep who left Louisiana 5 years ago to chase pipe dreams in California. You're not seriously considering this, are you? Aaliyah's voice crackled through my AirPods as I paced around my Malibu office. The wall-to-ceiling windows offered a perfect view of the Pacific Ocean, a daily reminder of how far I'd come. Actually, I am, I replied, already formulating a plan. Mom's looking for someone to clean the venue for our family reunion. Imagine her face when she realizes that venue is my villa. Girl, you are deliciously evil. Aaliyah laughed. But why not just tell them about your success? I settled into my ergonomic chair, spinning to face the photos on my desk. One showed my mother, Caitlin, at my high school graduation. Her face pinched with disappointment as I announced my business school plans instead of medical school. Remember what Mom said when I started this company? Maya, stop playing entrepreneur and get a real job like your sister. Well, now I want her to see exactly what playing entrepreneur looks like. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Vanessa, my perfect sister. Hey, sis. Heard Mom offered you the cleaning gig. Don't mess this up, okay? We need the venue spotless. I typed back, don't worry. I'll make sure everything's perfect. Maya. Aaliyah's voice softened. Are you sure about this? Your mom can be intense. That's exactly why I need to do this, I said, pulling up the rental agreement for my villa. For years, she's treated me like I'm nothing but a disappointment. Every family gathering, every phone call, it's always, why can't you be more like Vanessa? Or when are you going to get a real career? I started typing an email to my staff, preparing them for the upcoming charade. The best part? Dad called yesterday to check on me. Wanted to make sure I had enough money for rent this month. Meanwhile, I'm closing deals with A-list celebrities and managing properties worth millions. Speaking of which, Ilya interrupted, TMZ is trying to figure out who handled Brad Pitt's secret wedding last month. Should I release a statement? No. Discretion is our brand. Let them speculate. I finished the email to my staff and hit send. Besides, I've got a different revelation planned. My phone lit up again. Mom. Maya. About the cleaning job? I took a deep breath, thinking about the upcoming family reunion. In 2 weeks, my entire judgmental family would gather at what they believed was a rented luxury villa. They'd walk through my home, admire my success, all while thinking I was there to clean it. You know what the worst part is, Aliyah? Mom had dreams like mine once. Before she married Dad, she wanted to start her own business, but she gave it up because it wasn't practical. Now she spends her time crushing other people's dreams instead. And you're going to show her what happens when you don't give up, Ilya finished. Exactly. I picked up my phone and typed my response to Mom. I'll do it. Send me the details. Just promise me one thing, Aliyah said. When everything comes out, try to be gentle. Your mom might be tough, but finding out your struggling daughter is actually a millionaire might be a shock. I looked at the latest magazine feature about my company mounted on my office wall. LA's Ghost Entrepreneur, the invisible hand behind Hollywood's biggest events. The article praised my discretion and innovation, even though they couldn't get a photo or my full name. Don't worry, I said, a smile playing on my lips. I'm not looking for revenge. I just want her to see me, really see me for once. My phone buzzed one final time. Mom had sent the venue address, my own address. Perfect, she wrote. The family arrives at 3 p.m. 2 weeks from Saturday. Don't be late. Oh, I won't be, I murmured, ending the call with Aliyah. I'll be right here, waiting for all of you. I walked to my window, watching the sunset paint the ocean in shades of gold. In 2 weeks, everything would change. My family would finally see the truth about their struggling daughter, and Mom would learn that sometimes the dreams she dismisses come true in ways she never imagined. I picked up my phone one last time and texted Mom back, don't worry. Everything will be absolutely perfect, and it would be, just not in the way she expected. Miss Maya, the florists are here with the arrangements. Maria, my head of household staff, called from the foyer. Where would you like them? I descended the curved staircase of my villa, taking in the controlled chaos of preparation. Let's put the large centerpieces in the main dining room and scatter the smaller ones throughout the living areas. I paused, watching the staff transform my already beautiful home into something even more spectacular. And Maria, remember when my family arrives? I know, she smiled. You're just the cleaner, though I still think this is crazy. The morning sun streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows, catching the crystal chandelier and sending rainbow reflections dancing across the marble floors. In just a few hours, my family would walk through these doors, completely unaware that their struggling relative owned this piece of paradise. Maya. Alaya burst through the front door, tablet in hand. The catering team needs final approval on the menu and, wow, this place looks incredible. Thanks, I said, directing a worker carrying a massive arrangement of white roses. Little to the left. Perfect. How's the guest list looking? Elia scrolled through her tablet. Everyone confirmed. Your mom called twice this morning to make sure the cleaning lady would be here on time. I couldn't help but laugh. If she only knew. Miss Maya, one of the newer staff members, approached hesitantly. There's a man at the gate. Says his name is Isaac. My heart skipped a beat. Isaac's early? He wasn't supposed to arrive until surprise. Isaac's deep voice boomed through the foyer as he strolled in, looking sharp in his tailored suit. Thought I'd come early to watch the show. I hugged him, grateful for his support. Isaac had been my first major client when I started the concierge service, and he'd become a close family friend, one of the few who knew the truth about my success. How's our little revenge plot coming along? He asked, eyes twinkling. It's not about revenge, I protested, but Isaac raised an eyebrow. Okay, maybe a little, but it's more about setting the record straight, Ilya finished. Speaking of which, your sister just posted on Instagram about coming to some fancy house in Malibu. Should we be worried? I shook my head. Vanessa can post all she wants. She has no idea this is my place. I checked my watch. 2 hours until showtime. Maria, is the staff briefed? Yes, Miss Maya. We'll treat you like any other cleaning service worker when your family arrives. She paused. Though I still don't understand why you let them think. Because, Isaac interrupted, sometimes people need to learn their lessons the hard way. Trust me, I've been there. The next hour flew by in a blur of final preparations. I changed into simple black pants and a plain white shirt, my cleaning uniform, and stored my regular clothes in the staff quarters. The villa looked perfect, fresh flowers everywhere, champagne chilling, gourmet appetizers ready to be served. Maya? Elia caught my arm as I was doing a final walkthrough. Your mom just texted. They're 15 minutes away. I took a deep breath, suddenly nervous. How do I look? Like the world's most successful cleaning lady, Isaac chuckled. Remember, I told the assembled staff, as far as anyone knows, this villa belongs to one of Isaac's business associates. I'm just here to clean. Got it? They nodded, though I could see the amusement in their eyes. Maria handed me a feather duster with a straight face. Don't forget your tools of the trade, Miss Maya. You're all enjoying this way too much, I muttered. Cars approaching. Someone called from the window. I watched through the security cameras as 3 vehicles pulled up to the gate. Mom's voice crackled through the intercom. Hello? We're here for the Richardson family reunion. Isaac pressed the gate button. Welcome, please come up to the house. I moved to the side entrance, feather duster in hand, heart pounding. Through the window, I could see Mom step out of her car, jaw dropping as she took in the villa. Vanessa was already taking selfies in front of the fountain. Maya, Isaac called softly, you don't have to do this. We could just tell them. No, I said firmly. Mom needs to see what happens when you believe in yourself, even when no one else does. I gripped the feather duster tighter. Besides, after 5 years of hiding my success, I think I've earned a little dramatic reveal. The doorbell rang. I could hear Mom's voice through the door. I hope that cleaning girl is here. This place needs to be perfect. Isaac squeezed my shoulder before moving to answer the door. Showtime, boss. I stepped into the shadows of the side hallway, watching as my family filed into my home, their faces filled with awe. Mom was already running her finger along a table checking for dust. Maya, she called out. Are you here? I took one final deep breath and stepped into view, feather duster raised like a scepter. Don't worry, Mom, I said sweetly. Everything's going to be absolutely perfect. Maya, thank goodness you're here, Mom said, barely glancing at me as she inspected the grand foyer. This place is enormous. I hope you're up to the task. Vanessa circled around me, her designer heels clicking on the marble floor. Nice uniform, sis. Very professional. Her smirk said everything her words didn't. Thanks for the vote of confidence, I replied, gripping my feather duster. Can I take your bags? Dad stepped forward, giving me a warm but worried hug. You look good, sweetheart. Are you eating enough? I can send you some extra money if I'm fine, Dad. I pulled away, catching Isaac's subtle wink from across the room. Let me show you to your rooms. As I led them up the curved staircase, Vanessa's voice echoed through the space. Oh my God. Is that an original Rothko? This place must be worth millions. The owner has excellent taste, Isaac commented smoothly, following behind us. I'm sure Maya can tell you all about the artwork. She spends a lot of time cleaning it. I shot him a warning look as Mom stopped abruptly. You let her clean priceless artwork? Is that wise? Mom, Aaliyah interrupted, appearing from one of the guest rooms. Maya is more capable than you think. Aaliyah, what are you doing here? Mom asked, surprised. I'm helping Maya, she replied carefully. You know, with the cleaning. Vanessa snorted. Of course, you are. You two always did stick together. I showed them to their rooms, each more luxurious than the last. Mom ran her finger along every surface, pursing her lips when she couldn't find any dust. Dad kept trying to slip me $20 bills when no one was looking. The view is incredible, Mom admitted, staring out at the ocean. But Maya, honey, don't you think you should be focusing on finding a real career instead of cleaning other people's success? Before I could respond, Maria appeared in the doorway. Excuse me, the caterers need direction about the appetizer service. I'll handle it, I said quickly, but Mom's eyes narrowed. Why would they ask the cleaning girl about catering? I help coordinate everything, I managed. Part of the service. Well, Vanessa chimed in, scrolling through her phone. At least you're moving up from just pushing a mop. Baby steps, right? I caught Alea's eye across the room. She looked ready to spill everything. I gave her a subtle head shake. Speaking of service, Isaac interrupted smoothly. Why don't we head downstairs for drinks? Maya has everything under control up here. As they filed out, Dad lingered behind. Princess, I hate seeing you like this. You had such potential. Dad, please, I said softly. I'm okay. Really. Downstairs, the party was in full swing. My staff moved efficiently through the space, serving champagne and hors d'oeuvres, while I pretended to dust and straighten things. The irony of cleaning my own home while my family admired it wasn't lost on me. Maya, Mom called from across the room. There's a spot on this window. Come take care of it. I moved to grab the cleaning supplies, but Isaac intercepted me. You know, he said loudly enough for everyone to hear, I've always found it interesting how some people can look right at success and still not see it. Mom turned around. Excuse me? Nothing. He smiled. Just thinking out loud. Maya. About that window? I was about to respond when Vanessa gasped, staring at her phone. Oh my God, you guys. This house belongs to the mystery entrepreneur everyone's been talking about, the one who handled Brad Pitt's wedding. My heart stopped. Aaliyah choked on her champagne. How do you know that? Mom asked, suddenly interested. Look, Vanessa thrust her phone forward, showing a gossip site article. They say the owner lives in this exact area and the description matches perfectly. Can you imagine being that successful? Meanwhile, she glanced at me with pity. Meanwhile, what? I asked, my voice steady despite my racing heart. Oh, you know, she waved her hand dismissively. Not everyone can be a success story. Someone has to do the cleaning, right? The room fell silent. Even Mom looked uncomfortable with Vanessa's comment. Right, I said quietly, setting down my feather duster. Someone has to do the cleaning, and someone has to own the house being cleaned. Isaac stepped forward, looking like he was about to say something, but I caught his eye. Not yet. The moment wasn't right. Maya, Mom said, her voice softening slightly. Maybe we could help you find some courses at the community college. It's never too late to actually, I interrupted, picking up a champagne flute from a passing tray. I think it's time for a toast, to success, and to seeing things as they really are. The confusion on their faces was perfect. Mom opened her mouth to object to my drinking on the job, but before she could speak, Maria appeared again. Miss Maya, there's a call for you in the office about the Tokyo contract. The silence that followed was deafening. The Tokyo contract? Mom's voice cracked like thin ice. Why would a cleaner need to? I'll take it in the study. I cut in smoothly, avoiding everyone's stares. Excuse me. As I walked away, I heard Vanessa's shrill whisper. Did she just say Miss Maya? I slipped into my study, closing the heavy wooden doors behind me. Through the security feed on my desktop, I could see my family huddled together, whispering furiously. Isaac was doing his best to distract them with stories about the art collection. Maya? Aliyah slipped in through the side door. That wasn't really a call from Tokyo, was it? I shook my head. Maria's getting too good at this game. I sank into my leather chair, the familiar comfort of my workspace calming my nerves. But did you see their faces? Girl, I thought your mom was going to faint when Maria called you Miss Maya. Aliyah perched on the edge of my desk. Maybe it's time to. A knock interrupted us. Maya. It was Isaac. Your mother is asking questions. Lots of questions. I opened the door to find not just Isaac, but my entire family crowded in the hallway. Mom pushed past him, her eyes scanning the room before landing on me. What is going on? She demanded. Why are you in here instead of cleaning? And why did that woman call you? Because that's what the staff calls me, I said quietly, standing behind my desk. Would you like to sit down? Staff? Vanessa squeaked, stumbling into the room. What staff? Dad followed, his eyes moving from the awards on the wall to the industry magazines on my desk, each featuring articles about my company. His face softened with understanding. "Princess, don't encourage her, Frederick," Mom snapped. "Maya, explain yourself. Now." I picked up the latest issue of Forbes from my desk. "Maybe this will help?" I handed it to her, open to the article about my company, page 37. Mom's hands shook as she read the headline. "The Invisible Empire: How One Woman's Discreet Concierge Service Became Hollywood's Best-Kept Secret." "That's the company everyone's talking about," Vanessa said, peering over Mom's shoulder. "The one that handled Brad Pitt's wedding." "But that can't be." "Can't be what?" I asked, my voice steady. "Can't be me? The failure? The disappointment? The one who needed to get a real job?" Mom sank into one of the leather chairs, the magazine crumpling in her grip. "This is some kind of joke." "Actually," Isaac stepped forward. "It's not. Maya's company is one of the most successful in Los Angeles. She's been my business partner for years." "Partner?" Mom's head snapped up. "But you said you were just friends who gave her cleaning work?" Isaac finished. "No, Caitlin. I gave her my investment portfolio to manage, and it was the best business decision I've ever made." A notification pinged on my computer. I glanced at the screen. Another celebrity client booking. The irony wasn't lost on me. "So this house," Dad started, "is mine," I confirmed. "All of it. The art, the view, everything you've been admiring. I own it." Vanessa collapsed onto a sofa, her perfect composure cracking. "But you never said anything. All those times I offered to help you with money. All those times you looked down on me, you mean?" The words came out sharper than I intended. "All those family gatherings where you treated me like I was nothing." "Maya," Elia warned softly. "No," I continued, moving around the desk. "For 5 years, I've built this company from nothing. For 5 years, I've handled the most exclusive events in Hollywood. And for 5 years, I've listened to all of you tell me what a disappointment I am." Mom stood up suddenly. "I need some air." She turned and fled the room. "Mom, wait," I called, but Dad caught my arm. "Give her a minute, Princess. This is a lot to take in." I watched through the security feed as Mom paced the terrace, her hands pressed to her face. The setting sun cast long shadows across the lawn, and for a moment, she looked small and lost. "Why didn't you tell us?" Vanessa asked, her voice unusually quiet. "Would you have believed me?" I countered. "Would any of you have believed that your struggling little Maya could build something like this?" The silence that followed was answer enough. Isaac cleared his throat. "Maybe we should all take a break. Process this over dinner?" "Dinner," I repeated, checking my watch. "Right. The chef should be ready to serve in about 20 minutes. I turned to Maria, who had appeared silently in the doorway. "Please let everyone know we're ready." "Yes, Miss Maya," she replied, emphasizing my name with a small smile. As my family filed out, still looking shell-shocked, I caught a glimpse of Mom through the window. She was staring out at the ocean, shoulders shaking slightly. This wasn't quite how I'd planned the reveal, but maybe it was better this way. Quick, like ripping off a bandage. Now came the hard part, healing the wound beneath. Dinner was a masterpiece of awkwardness. The chef's perfectly plated courses arrived at a table where the only sounds were clinking silverware and uncomfortable throat clearing. Mom hadn't said a word since coming in from the terrace, though her red-rimmed eyes spoke volumes. "The food is excellent," Dad ventured, breaking the silence. "Did you hire a private chef, Maya?" "Actually," I replied, sipping my wine. "Marcus has been my full-time chef for 2 years now." Vanessa pushed her plate away. "I can't believe you let me send you grocery gift cards for Christmas. Those came in handy for the staff break room," I said, unable to resist. Elia kicked me under the table. "I think," Isaac announced, standing with his wine glass. "It's time for a proper toast." Mom's head snapped up. "A toast? To what? To being deceived by my own daughter?" "Mom," I started, but she cut me off. "No, Maya. You sat there and watched us treat you like, I challenged. Like someone beneath you? Like a failure? That's not fair," Vanessa protested. "Not fair?" I laughed. "Let's talk about fair. Remember last Thanksgiving when you offered to hire me as your housekeeper? Or Christmas, when Mom told the entire family not to enable my California fantasy by giving me actual presents?" Dad set down his fork. "Princess, we were worried about you." "No," I said firmly. "You were judging me. There's a difference." Isaac cleared his throat. "If I may, I've known Maya for 5 years now, watched her build something extraordinary. And do you know what drove her? What pushed her to succeed?" Mom's fingers tightened around her wineglass. "Enlighten us." "Every dismissive comment, every condescending gesture, every time you told her she couldn't make it." Isaac's voice was gentle but firm. "She turned your doubt into determination. Is that true?" Mom's voice cracked. "Is that why you didn't tell us? To prove us wrong?" I set down my glass, choosing my words carefully. Do you remember what you said when I told you I wanted to start my own business? I said it was